Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Desiree Cassell. I'm an orthopedic and pelvic floor physical therapist specializing in women's health, aka pelvic floor. I'm a wife, mom of 3, foodie, lover of all things movement and nature, and I'm super passionate about educating, empowering, and supporting other women like you to find and maintain balance throughout all aspects of their lives, without pain, pressure, or peeing their pants. And this is the Balanced Momtality Podcast, where we will talk about all things pelvic floor, your core, and optimizing your pregnancy, birth, and postpartum recovery, providing you with the knowledge and tools so that you can feel like the strong, playful, and happy mom that you and your family deserve. Now let's get you out of those pads and back to loving movement. Fill up your water, pop in those AirPods, roll out your mat, and let's connect. Hey friend, how are you feeling? How is your summer going? Are you doing all the fun things that you wanted to do? Are you spending time with your family like you hoped? Are you getting outside, playing in the sunshine, escaping into the mountains? Maybe you have some fun trips planned, or you're on vacation right now. Maybe you're feeling like summer's already getting away from you and your health and wellness and exercise has just fallen to the back burner, and you're already feeling like maybe we need to wait till summer's over to get back on track with our routines. But what if I told you that 5 to 10 minutes of movement sprinkled throughout your day could be enough to keep you feeling strong all summer? Because that is our goal. In the summer, we definitely are shifting our priorities, our mindset, our energy. A lot of things shift around transitional times, especially seasons. They become a very transitional period for many of us, but especially if you have kids at home, we know this transition of summer can be a lot. I did a couple episodes a couple weeks ago that talked about like a summer reset, the reality of the overwhelm and motherhood chaos that just is. And so definitely check those out if you are kind of falling in the camp of, ooh, I'm already overwhelmed. Everything's already chaotic. I don't even know what day it is. Because that's how I've been feeling. However, because of the reality that I have made certain shifts in my routine, certain shifts in my priorities, I have been able to keep my exercise routine, and things have shifted. I'm not doing nearly as many days a week. I'm not doing as long of sessions. I'm not getting in as often of the sauna sessions as I was able to get in when my kids were in school. So a lot of things have changed. However, I haven't fallen off, and there's a big reason for that. And so I wanted to dive into that today and also just help you guys get a sense of this other way to think about movement, because a lot of us really just think about going to the gym, going for a run, putting out our mat and doing some yoga or a strength routine or whatever, right? We're building this time to do a workout. We've got this space that we've created for a workout. But unfortunately in the summer, or if you're on travel, or maybe you have family visiting or whatever, there might not be that time anymore. It might feel like, wait, how do I fit this in now? Because I don't have the 30, 45, 60-minute window that I had before to get these exercises in. And that's where exercise snacks come in. And so exercise snacks, if you haven't heard of them before, is just a short burst of intentional movement throughout the day. So instead of doing an hour-long, even 30-minute workout, we are chunking that apart and spreading it throughout our day. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is going to get you ripped and lean and make you hit your goals by the end of the summer, because that's not the reality of what exercise snacks can do, nor is that the goal when we're using exercise snacks. The goal of exercise snacks is really to keep us on track towards our goals, to make sure we're not falling off and becoming a couch potato or getting so caught up in the go, go, go of summer that we put all of our training on the back burner and all of our rehab strategies and health and wellness tools and practices that you've gotten into your rhythm to go out of rhythm, right? To fall off. You feel like you're failing. You feel like your strategies aren't working anymore. And that's because it's not fitting the lifestyle you have right now. And that's okay. And so sometimes it's okay to have your only movement be short little bursts of movement, especially if we can get more than one in a day. Because yeah, even those of us that are getting an hour workout in a day, if you're also sitting at your desk or on the couch all day the rest of the day, you're also probably not going to hit your goals. So I love the idea of exercise snacks because it really helps you just see the benefit of how little bursts of movement spread throughout the day can be super impactful on your goals and keeping you feeling good. And that is the goal through summer, is to feel good, feel strong, feel like you're staying on track and still doing something for yourself so that you're not going crazy and getting lost in the chaos of motherhood and that summer brings, right? And so exercise snacks are a concept that I want to dive into a little bit more specifically today so that we can use these strategies through the rest of summer and hopefully feel like we're getting back on track and get on top of things before you feel flares and symptoms. Because as we talked in previous episodes about the summer reset and motherhood overwhelm, a lot of pelvic floor symptoms flare in the summer. And a lot of it is because we do just go, 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 and we stop doing all the little strategies and tips and tricks that we were doing for our own body. And we tend to just stop all of those things. Or if we're doing activity and movement, maybe we're doing too much, but we're not getting enough stretching or release work in. And so we want to make sure that these exercise snacks are keeping you maintained, if you will. And yeah, you might see some progress, which is awesome. And that's really our goals. But the big goal and aim with this use of exercise snacks is just to stay moving, stay feeling good, and not backtrack and feel like now we've fallen off completely and it's even harder to get back into things when you feel like you have the capacity, because you might not feel like you have the capacity right now. And maybe it's the opposite. Maybe with summer you feel like you have even more capacity and more time. And if so, that's awesome. Take advantage of it. But I'll tell you, with all my kids home, as soon as I come home, they're wanting to go to the pool, they're wanting to go to the park, they're wanting to go to a free concert in the summer. Like they're just wanting to go, 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 go. So we have a lot less time. And I also am not going to just ditch my kids with my mom for childcare all day, every day. So I'm shifting my schedule so that I'm not working as much, which also means that I don't have the time to go to the gym as long or as often. And that is okay because I'm not just taking the whole summer off. I'm using this concept of exercise snacks throughout my days, but I'm also still going to the gym. I'm still prioritizing that time. It just looks a little different. It's not the perfect scenario anymore. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm giving myself leeway and deciding, instead of going to the gym early this morning, because yes, I'm having to go even earlier now, I'm going to sleep a little bit, sleep in. I know I'm going to get to the gym 3 other times this week, so no pressure. So I also changed my expectations, which are something that I did previously talk about in those other summer reset and overwhelm episodes. So go check that out. But today, let's dive into exercise snacks. So some examples of this, and I am going to give some more specific snacks that I want you to try, but just some examples are like breaking things up, right? So you're doing 3 to 10 minute workouts. You should do them multiple times a day because yes, one little 10-minute workout probably isn't going to keep you that on track, but anything is better than nothing. And that's what we have to really remind ourselves, especially when we feel like, really, what is this going to do? Anything is better than nothing. And we can't forget that. And that statement has pulled me to the gym, pulled me onto my mat, pulled me into my body to do breath way more often than I can count, because I am like you. I hear the all or nothing mentality come in and like, well, you were supposed to go to the gym an hour ago. Now you only have a half an hour. Is this even worth it? Gosh, guys, I can't even tell you. Last week, I was so tested because yes, I have to wake up even earlier to go to the gym. I didn't wake up as early, and it was close to where I almost just gave up on the gym completely. But I was like, you know what? I'm only going to be there for about 40 minutes. That's okay. Again, anything is better than nothing. So I'm going to go. So I go, and then I find out that my AirPods were dead. And if you know, lifting at the gym without music sucks. So I was like about to literally just turn around and walk out. Also, because by the time I got to the gym, I now only had a 30-minute workout. So I was like, cool, 30-minute workout, no AirPods, awesome. Let's just do the dang thing. I go to record the exercise on my watch is dead. I'm like, oh my gosh, is the universe really testing me right now? Because if you know, exercise doesn't count unless you mark it on your watch. So annoying. So I made myself stay. I worked out. Was it the most productive? Did I have like 10 out of 10 energy? No. But did I leave feeling so much better and feeling proud of myself for showing up, even if it wasn't perfect or exactly how I wanted? Yes. And that is the point. We want to just feel proud of ourselves for showing up, even if it's for 5 minutes, even if it's for 1 minute. Anything is better than nothing. These aren't necessarily meant to replace every workout, obviously, but especially on those days where you're busy, or if it is just a week where you know I'm not going to make it to my workout time, these exercise snacks can be big game changers to keep those flares at bay. And again, just keep you feeling good and consistent and proud of yourself for showing up, because movement doesn't have to be all or nothing. And so with that being said, let's dive into why exercise snacks work so well. Because the reality is, again, with summer, kids are home, maybe they're at camps, we've all got irregular schedules, maybe you're on vacation, maybe there's activities going on, friends coming in, family coming in, you leaving for trips, whatever it is. There is a lot, right? And so these shorter sessions mean that there's less mental barriers for that. We don't have this idea that, I have to have like this 30 or 45-minute window. My living room needs to be clean so I can put my mat down, or my kids need to be taken care of so I can get to the gym. There's a lot less of that mental load when we can just say 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. You can find 5 minutes even with your kids around you. And this also helps boost your energy because you're getting movement in and you're getting your heart rate up a little bit. And again, with being in our body and being intentional, this also supports nervous system regulation. So when we're feeling overwhelmed and chaotic, just getting in your body for a little bit of intentional movement can really help calm your brain and your body so that you can show up how you want to this summer. Because I have 3 words that always run through my head of how I want to show up for my kids and my family: patient, playful, and present. And when I don't feel like one or all of those, I know I'm dysregulated and something is off, and we need to do something to help regulate that, and movement can be so great. So I'm going to give you guys some specific exercise snacks, like literally the number, the exercise, like you're going to get 5 different little routines, little exercise snack routines that you can start using and getting into your day-to-day already. But before I get into some specific exercise snacks that are actual exercises, because that is an exercise snack, I want to first give you an idea and overview of how I'm also using this concept of exercise snack. Because while you can just think about, it's just this quick little 5-minute exercise routine, totally valid, totally awesome, going to give you those exercises in a minute. The other way you can think about exercise snacks is, hey, I'm picking the baby up. Let's do 10 squats. Since I'm bending over to pick up the baby, we're going to squat and stand and squat and stand 10 times, right? Maybe you're in the kitchen and you're cooking, and this is a great place where you can do some calf raises while you're bending over and putting things down. Make it a squat, make it a deadlift, make it a lunge. While you're putting stuff up in the cupboards up high or up on top of the fridge, you can make it a calf raise. And we're always thinking of that core engagement to make sure that your rib cage isn't moving while you're doing overhead activities. So again, just being intentional about a lot of the normal functional stuff you're already doing. It doesn't even have to be a squat or a deadlift or doing an actual exercise routine like I'm going to talk about in a minute. It could literally be, I'm cleaning my house, so I'm going to make it a squat every time I bend down to pick something up. Or maybe you're alternating. One time it's a squat, one time it's a lunge, one time it's a deadlift. Like, think about the moves you're already doing and just bring intention to them. Engage your core. Think of your breath as you're moving through those normal activities, especially heavy loads like carrying kids, carrying laundry, carrying groceries. If we can just hold that load in front of you or on one side of your trunk and just march around the house with your core engaged while you're breathing, that is a beautiful exercise snack. And friend, you're already doing those kinds of activities, so just bring some more intention to them, and then you'll also get more bang for your buck because you're getting a little exercise snack and you're also saving your back and your body with all of the normal functional things you're already doing. So I have some great places where, again, like in the kitchen, you can do some calf raises while you're doing dishes. You can do a lateral lunge as you're putting the dishes in the dishwasher, putting them away. You can do squats or lunges to put them away in low cupboards. You can do calf raises to put them up in high cupboards. There is endless things you can do around dishes. And then if we're cleaning, if you're using a vacuum or sweeping, this is a lot of great core work because you're twisting a little through your trunk. So this is where we again brace our core. We think of that exhale through the twist. I would keep an eye on what side you're using, because if you have the broom or the vacuum always on the same side, then you might have some imbalance with your obliques. And so it's not a bad idea halfway through that routine to switch sides. Or like me, I'll be sweeping, I'll feel it a little in my back. I'm like, ooh, is my core even engaged? Nope. Okay, let's engage our core. Let's do that some more. And now I'm going to switch, even myself out, do the other side. And that's where we can, again, just get exercise snacks with things you're already doing, especially if you have stairs, because stairs are fabulous. So maybe you can go up and down the stairs, skip a step, make it an extra large step. Now you're getting a step up every time you're going up and down the stairs. Again, core is braced. You're thinking of that exhale as you're going to stand up. You can walk up and down the stairs sideways. You can walk up and down the stairs backwards, forwards. There's so many ways that you can, again, sneak intentional movement in. We've been going to the pool a lot because it's summer and it's hot as shit these days. So we've been living at the pool. And when we're in the water, I could just be floating and, being really lazy about it, which sometimes and a lot of times I am, not going to lie. I could also go lane swimming. That's an obvious exercise, which I do sometimes. I'll float on my back and just kind of swim back and forth. But another great thing to do in the pool is use that resistance of the water. And so this is where I'll like prop the back of my shoulder blades and I'll put my arms up on the edge of the pool while my body is in the water face up. And I'll just use that water as beautiful resistance. I'll engage my core and just flutter my legs. I'll flop them side to side, in and out, up and down. These are great strength and resistance exercises for your core. So again, where are you already? What are you already doing? Just engage your core. Think of your breath. Bring a little intention behind it. Maybe you even do 5-10 repetitive moves after picking something up. But otherwise, we really can just sneak in intentional movement and exercise snacks with what you're already doing. However, if you want some actual structure and a little bit more of a routine style exercise snack, I have 5 for you. So here are 5 of my favorite summer exercise snacks. Snack 1 is focusing on core and breathing and kind of resetting everything. So this is a little bit of more mobility and breath work, which is great to do in bed, getting out of bed when baby's already doing tummy time. So again, snack this in somewhere where you're already kind of laying down. So 360 breathing. We're just doing big 360 breathing for 5 breaths. Then we're looking at cat-cow. So we can do some cat-cow on your hands and knees. We can do some bird dog from there where you're getting some core stability and engagement. You can do 5 to 10 cat-cows, 10 to 20 bird dogs, and then you can sit back into child's pose and do some deep breath work. So that just gave you a little bit of mobility, a little bit of core stability, and a little breathing reset. And it should only take you like 5 minutes. Another exercise snack is focusing more on glute power. So I would do 3 rounds of these because 1 round shouldn't take you very long. So 10 squats, 10 bridges, 10 side lying leg raises. Or if you have a band, you can put a band around your knees and you can do 10 squats with the band, 10 bridges with the band or a hip thrust, so you can prop your upper body up on a couch or something, and then 10 lateral banded steps or lateral walks or crab walks. So that's 3 glute exercises, and if you do 3 sets, that's going to give you a little booty burn, and you can get it done in under 5 minutes. Another snack is more about mobility, where we're looking at hip flexors, mid-back. So this is where I have you, I love to do some, again, cat-cow. From there, I love to do open books or thread the needle. So this is where you're getting some trunk rotation in through there. And then the other one is a hip flexor stretch. So then you bring a leg forward and end up in a lunge position, and you're just stretching, leaning across, reaching across your body, really trying to deep breath into that hip space and getting a nice hip stretch, and do it on both sides. So technically that's going to give you 3 to 6 exercises, or 4 to 6, because we've got 2 sides for the bow and arrow and 2 sides for the hip flexor stretch. But otherwise, getting in a little bit of cat-cow, or the bow and arrow I meant is thread the needle. Sorry, I'm in confusing you with the rotational exercises, but that can be either or, right? You could do bow and arrow, you could do thread the needle, you could do open books. They all get rotation through your spine. Snack 4 is a walking snack. So this is just going for a little 10-minute walk. It doesn't even have to be a long one. After dinner, maybe while the kids are riding a bike, or maybe it's between errands, or maybe you're at the store and you're just walking around the store. Like, you're already there doing errands. Your kids might not even be with you. Take advantage and just like walk with intention through the store. Think of your breath. Think of your bracing and see how everything's feeling just naturally as you're walking around. The last snack I'm going to give you is a playground snack. So while your kids are playing at the park already, we can do step ups, because every park has some kind of step getting onto the playground, or maybe you even have a log or a rock or whatever. You can do squats there. You can do calf raises there. You can do balance work. If they have a little different inclines or different levels of the playground, you can also do like inclined planks or push-ups. So there are so many options, and there's really no wrong way to do this. Just pick the movement that feels good in your body. What do you need? Do you need more mobility? Do you need more breath and release? Do you need more strength? And also, what are you already doing that's taking a little bit of effort? Because if we just give it a little bit more intention, you get more bang for your buck, and then you also got a little workout in, so your body will thank you. And this has so many benefits, because we're getting more circulation when you're intentional with your body. You're getting improved pressure management and awareness of your posture and your tension holding patterns. You have less stiffness because of that movement and awareness and circulation. Again, this helps your nervous system regulation and just calming things and helping your body feel safe. And it brings consistency, making you feel like you can do these things, confidence, and that determination without overdoing it and feeling overwhelmed already on top of a chaotic summer. So stop waiting for the perfect time. The biggest barrier isn't your time, it's your expectations, okay? You don't need an uninterrupted hour. You really only need 5 intentional minutes. So I want you to create your summer movement menu, and this is a challenge. I want you to just choose one of those snacks that I mentioned today, whether it's the breath and mobility snack, more of the strength and glute stability snack, the walk snack, the park playground snack. Pick which one works for you. You can repeat them. You can pick one for the week. You can see which one you want to do which day, but pick one and be intentional, because again, just hearing this, you might go, oh, great ideas. But if you don't actually plan it or even write it down, even in your notes section or in your calendar, or put an alarm, then let's just face it, time's going to get away from you and you're going to feel like time was the issue. But really, it was just that you didn't prioritize it and bring that intention into what you're already doing. This is exactly why I love having short workouts inside of the pelvic floor core and more app because life doesn't always allow for an hour-long gym session. So just know inside of Restore, which is my 12-week program, there are exercise snacks built in. Every single week has a 5-minute exercise option, but also has the 20-minute strength and stability option for when you feel like you have a little bit more energy and time to devote to exercise and fitness, but your body doesn't know if you exercise 60 minutes all at once or 10 minutes, 6 different times. It simply responds to consistency. Now, obviously, your muscles will notice that fatigue. And if you do exercise that muscle back to back and get 3 rounds and fatigue that muscle, that's what we're looking for when we're talking strength. But the reality of like mobility and release and breath, you can just spread those throughout your day. It's not a big deal. But if you're trying to get a good burn, don't spread out your sets. So definitely don't do like one set of glute bridges, one set of calf raises, one set of squats, then later in the day do another set, then later in the day do another set. No, because that does spread out the intensity of the strength. We really actually want it to be all at once for that specific exercise, which is why if you do need to break apart the sets, I would instead break apart the exercises. So do all 3 sets of the squats, then later do all 3 sets of the bridges, then later do all 3 sets of the calf raises. But ideally, even getting in all 3 sets of all 3 of those exercises should not take you more than 10 minutes. So with that being said, definitely reach out if you want any more help with getting in exercise snacks or getting in some exercise routines more tailored to your daily movement patterns and your specific symptoms and impairments and needs. Definitely we can get you on a coaching call or get in for a therapy session with me. But I do have my online program where you do have individual coaching options from me still, but you can run through that 12-week program more self-paced and you still have access to ask me questions and get feedback. The link for all of the information for my Restore program and my coaching is in the show notes below, so definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. But otherwise, go try some of these exercise snacks, friends, and let me know what you think. I would love to hear if you have some fun exercise snacks because I always love trying a new snack. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. I know you've got so many other important things going on, but I hope it was helpful and you leave here with some tools to help you in your healing journey. And I just want to ask you, if you have found this helpful, to please leave a review on iTunes. Scroll down to the bottom of my podcast page and leave that 5-star review so it can help other women see this information. And also, if you want to be a part of my community of amazing women trying to balance all the things, great tips and insight and sharing stories and just motivating each other along the way, feel free to join my Facebook group, The Balanced Momtality Wellness and Support. I hope to see you here next time on the Balanced Momtality Podcast.